Hey, we should be live. Good evening, everyone. Hopefully, you can see and hear us.
Evening, everybody.
Let's know. I think let's have come up on my phone. I always have it open on my phone just to keep an eye.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a delay, isn't there? Everyone can see here. So, hey, everyone. So here we go in chat. So, hey, Greg. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Trond. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Wolf. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Jackie.
All the guys in the house.
Hey, Sarah. Hey, Amy. Ooh.
Let's get it up on here actually as well.
I haven't missed anyone there. If I have, sorry. So, yep. Hope everyone is doing well on this fine bank holiday Monday evening. It's like the first of many this month. This month.
Same again next week.
Yeah, exactly. Don't want to go next week. But oh, sorry, Susan. Hey, Susan. Yeah, welcome. Oh, so you can see tonight we're joined by the wonderful Bear of Bear's Eight-Legged Freaks. I'm sure most of you know who Bear is, but just in case, do you want to give yourself a quick introduction into who you are and what you do?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm Bear from Bear's Eight-Legged Freaks. I got into the tarantula hobby around about 3-4 years ago. I did have tarantulas back in my younger days, but due to family and partners and that, I was never able to be in a good position where I could collect them like I do now. So yeah, a few years ago when I got diagnosed with bipolar, I was told to get a hobby. So it's my perfect excuse to my partner to get a tarantula again. So that's what I done. And then things just escalated. Obviously, then followed like the YouTube channel and things like Instagram and other social media accounts, where obviously I do videos about particular species and things like that. So yeah.
Fantastic. Hey, Nat. I was putting your Instagram and your YouTube links into the chat for anyone who perhaps doesn't follow you, but make sure that they do go over.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
So which was your why tarantulas sort of thing? What was it about tarantulas?
You know what? I'm one of them, especially since my younger days, like when I was like in school and that. I was always the one that was into sort of like bugs and things like that. I was that kid that would be, down in the garden, down by the bushes, putting bugs into pots, taking spiders home in little containers, things like that. I was that kid. And of course, especially with spiders, I always just had that fascination. Even to this day, even with the collection I got, I still find them actually fascinating. And of course, they're growing up as well. I was never in a position, like I said before, as well with family, because as we all know, there are a hell of a lot of people out there that are absolutely petrified of spiders. Probably, I think arachnophobia is probably the biggest fear on the planet, to be fair.
It's up there. I think it's only like something like number 5 or something. It's not as high as you sometimes think.
Oh, really?
No, it's up there. Yeah.
Yeah, but so I would have thought it would have been right up there. And then, of course, getting into when I had the opportunity to get back into the hobby, and I spoke to my partner about it. She was a bit wary, but she was like, "Oh, go on, go for it." So the first tarantula I purchased was the Brachypelma homorii. Eliza, I called her. She's an absolute sweetheart. I love her to bits. And I think then that my family could see just how much like this was helping me. And finally, at my age, I've got into something that I absolutely adore and I'm very passionate about. And again, like I said earlier, then other things followed. I wanted to start taking pictures. I wanted to start documenting them. I wanted to start learning more about them. And of course, then the YouTube channel followed and things just progressed from there.
That's just boys. You got arachnophobia, but have 30 plus spiders.
But you know what? It is funny. Do you know what, the amount of people that I have seen or heard from that have said that exact same thing, especially like on other tarantula pages across Facebook, where they have had the fear of spiders or tarantulas, but they've actually purchased them to help. I think it's really good, really good.
Well, yeah, slowly getting used to them through exposure. it does work for some people. It certainly does. I certainly I know a customer query, Matthew. He has a story they told me. He just go someone up, rang him up for asking for a tank, kind of thing. Bog standard. Yeah, no, sure. And then it's all like, can you have it all set up for me? Because he sometimes will do like food, pre-set up, ready to go.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I can do that. That's not a problem. Obviously, it costs a little bit more. And then it's all like, I want to get this spider, but can you purchase it for me and stick it in the tank? And it's all like, well, that's a bit unusual, right? Even sort of thing. And then when I come pick it up, can you bring it out with a towel covering it all over? It's all like, why? It's like, well, I'm really arachnophobic, but I want to get over my fear. It's like, well, okay, we can do this, and put in place like, look, if you can't, if you really can't look over it, just let me know and we'll take it back, sort of thing.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And, 6 months later, rang him and like, can I get 20 tanks? But they spend the time like every couple of days, he'd ring Matthew up, being like, "Oh, I've lifted the towel a little bit just to make sure that it's okay, and I've put some water in, or I've managed to put ingredients up. It's all good and good." And then literally, something like not even 6 months later or something, he was like, "On an order for low more tanks." He's like, "I'm ordering them more. This is it. I'm done."
It's like I expect everyone who actually this is in the hobby. It's like when you get into the transfer community, you start buying. It is very, very addictive.
It is,
and it can develop very, very fast. Very fast.
That's it. Yeah. Hey, Shady. Hey, Anton.
Hey, Anton.
Yeah, and that's it. And that's and it kind of has it. It's good and bad at the same time of just how addictive it is and stuff. And of course, some people do get into it too quickly sometimes and get too many things in quick succession because it's, some of them aren't expensive, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And especially if you're buying slings, don't take up much room.
Yeah, but again, that's what makes this so easy. And the fact that you can purchase online as well. You know what I mean? It is so easy to do.
That's it. You 50 quid. Not a huge amount of money, and you got quite a few spiders for 50 quid potentially.
Exactly that. It is very easy,
and it's very. And you do see sometimes, unfortunately, where some people, which we'll get onto a bit about with something else you're doing, where people sometimes bite off too much that can chew in quick succession of buying too many very quickly, and then get overwhelmed by it because it's one spider doesn't take a lot of looking after really. 10 spiders don't necessarily look it up, but suddenly you 300. Then it's like,
exactly. That's another reason as well why I started working on this rescue page that I've done for those very, very, very reasons. You know what I mean? Because they literally probably over the last year and a half or so, I probably rescued around about 60, 70 tarantulas from people just privately messaged me saying they just got into the hobby, it's developed too quickly, they're overwhelmed with the collection, they can't look after them all, or they've got to that point where they're bored, which is quite upsetting. I went to Gloucester not so long ago. A woman called me, next door neighbour had moved out, and they literally had 3 tanks out on the pavement. So I drove down and collected there. So, yeah, it's just
I was going to shout, thanks, Tron. Tron's just gifted 5 channel memberships out. It's gone to Ian. It's also gone to MJ. Those two hasn't come up with anyone else yet. So, Jackie's been a member for a month. Harry's got a membership.
Gosh.
So, cheers for that, Trons. We'll wait for it to pick out the other 2 people that hasn't picked yet.
Yeah, I see.
Might come up. It's taking its time. But as also, you go into train. So your first one's the Hamori, which is, let's face it, the standard of any tarantula collection. Is a collection kind of complete without at least one Hamori in it.
Yeah, exactly.
He's your iconic one. But what out of all the ones you got, what is perhaps the one that you wouldn't, if you got told tomorrow you can only keep one? We all asked it. It is the hardest question.
Oh, mate. I would try to think how I would be if I got told that. I would generally be heartbroken.
We all would. It is the hardest question. It is the
Oh,
hardest question.
mate. Oh no. I think, to be fair, I'd probably go with my Theraphosa sturmey, my adult female. I've had her just over a year, and a customized tank enclosure, which is this one just here. She's an absolute beauty. I even have conversations with her on a daily basis. So, yeah, I feel like a proper bond with her. So I think if I ever got told that, God forbid, that would be the one, I think.
Yeah, it's always a difficult one. I'm just going, yeah, thanks, Amy. It was just on £10, but nobody is born with spider phobia. The only phobia humans are born with is water.
I think, to be fair, a lot of phobias, especially when it comes to things like spiders, are developed through parents as well. Especially
it's a lot of social social interaction, and even nowadays, social media and stuff. News reports or anything. This is scary, but certainly, or to get away from that,
Exactly. Do you know what? I love social media. Social media is a good thing, but at the same time, it can be very, very negative. Especially going to pages like Lad Bible. I saw one not so long ago, and a bloke posted Theria Metallica, and he's there, and he's shaking the pot. It's like, oh, I can't stop shaking. This is the world's deadliest spider. If I get bit, I'm going to be hospitalised and things like that. Yeah. And it's things like this that give tarantulas and that a very bad name, and it makes my blood boil really, because like I'm trying to do the opposite of that. You know what I mean? I'm trying to show the world that they're not like that. And when you get videos like this, it's so frustrating.
And unfortunately, we have, as a species, we have a very much negative bias, and it's been shown quite often that anything negative, we will focus our attention more on that, and we'll pay more attention to that than something that's positive. So you could have two different stories about the same, whatever animal, doesn't matter what it is, but especially spiders. If it's a positive story on spiders, no traction whatsoever. If it's something even slightly negative on spiders, bang, loads of traction.
Yeah.
Goes for snakes as well. There's any animal, it's the same thing. And it's that thing. I watched something with some psychologist, and he said, you see it, down, on the motorway, and if there's a car crash, everyone slows down to look at the car crash.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah,
we like to focus on negative stuff, and that's social media loves negative stuff because it gets our attention a lot more.
Yeah, it gets the attention. Yeah, it pulls everyone in.
Over and over, and it's so rare, especially in the spider world, that there's anything positive said about spiders. And so even in local news, I mean, there was one last year actually from my local news saying that actually a rare spider has been found near Cambridge, kind of thing, and there was nothing like sensationalized in that story at all, which was really nice. Like, oh, this is a nice story.
Yeah. Come on.
Actually saying how amazing it was, but no one took any notice because there was nothing negative in it.
Yeah, exactly.
But you get video of someone with a Poke Metallica, and of course they go, the most venomous tarantula doesn't really mean much. It really doesn't mean much.
That's what I mean. But to people that don't understand the hobby, they're going to take that on the first view they see. You know what I mean? So straight away they're going to be like, oh my god. And then that draws in the attention, and other people do the same thing, and then it just goes. It's like a domino effect. Then you know what I mean?
Absolutely, and it's because so many people we hear that, and something I've mentioned in my talks at work. We hear venom, and we instantly think that venom means dangerous and deadly, and it really doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
And they can even used in medicines. They're used in cures and stuff. So, and most venoms aren't deadly.
Yeah.
Hey, Victoria. Hey, Sue.
Hello, everybody.
So, absolutely. Couldn't agree more with that. So, regarding your question, roughly how many do you have in your collection as it stands now?
As it stands now, probably just over 300. Wow, right about, give or take.
That's it. I stopped counting ages ago with everything. Is it just tarantulas or other things?
Yeah, when I first started, I was in that process of sort of like keeping an eye on what, like the numbers and that. And then every time someone asked me, like, "Oh, have you got any more spiders this week?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't know, 35 or 45." Oh, yeah, about 100 now. And now it's just at that point. How many you got? I've got a lot.
Crazy Sport Venom has been used for years, where the trainee homeopath and use venom to mix and make drugs. Absolutely.
Yeah, and especially with tarantula venom as well. There's been a lot of research into tarantula venom and the effects it can have on many diseases that humans carry, such as dementia, Alzheimer's, all sorts.
Absolutely. I will. There is 2 streams that you can watch on my channel with Venom Tech who deal with all that.
Really? I find it fascinating, mate. I really do. Really do.
It really is. Completely is. And so, and even I don't know if it might bring it back. He even made a hot sauce based on the Cambridge Eye venom.
Oh wow!
So,
I like my hot sauce as well.
The Summer-Pace Cambridge Eye, its venom has the same effect as chili peppers.
Oh, okay. Wow. That's an interesting fact. So,
like, yeah, they made, I'm not a hot sauce person. I'm not a chili head at all. Spicy stuff I cannot deal with. But that wasn't, I could deal with that. It wasn't too hot, sort of thing. It was probably up there for me. But for most people, it'd be like, it ain't the hottest.
Yeah.
Hottest. It's meant to be, this has the same effect.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I like that. That's cool.
Again, obviously, all those kind of social media pages picked that up. Some of them misrepresented a bit and were like, oh, they've made sauce out of it. And we're like, no, there's no venom in it.
Yeah. But again, it just shows up the internet, doesn't it? I have misconceptions of things. Yeah.
That's it. So is it just tarantulas, or have you got other things like scorpions or tree spiders?
It's mainly tarantulas. I have got a couple of centipedes. I've only got a couple. I do like centipedes, but I wouldn't say my knowledge is the greatest when it comes to centipedes. So I've only got a couple at the moment, but it's something that I'm slowly getting into. But yeah, mainly tarantulas. And for those who don't know, also I love my camel spiders. I absolutely love my camel spiders.
Solifuges they are stunning.
Yeah, and again, funny enough, we should mention this actually, because going back to the whole misconception of things that you see online and on Facebook, I've done a video on a camel spider going back a few months for the simple fact that there's so many stupid rumours and false facts about these beauties. It's unreal.
Also, you hear it all day, like, they're the size of cats, and
yeah, exactly. Or they jumped 2 meters high, or they ate soldiers' faces while they were asleep. When they were, it's silly things. Yeah, it's like every time, if I speak to somebody random and they start asking about my collection, as soon as I mention a camel spider, like, oh my god, how could you keep that? They're massive. They're about 2 meters long. It's like, no, they're not.
They're really not. Even the biggest ones are not big.
Yeah, and a lot of people as well. They think they're venomous when they're not as well. Because
they bite you, they're going to kill you. No, if they bite you, it hurts.
Yeah, it's going to be like a nip. You know what I mean? But yeah,
but that is it. They're not. Yeah, that's it. They're not venomous. And then it's like, oh, they chase after you. It's like, no, they're running for shadow.
Yeah, exactly that. And one thing I try to explain as well, I don't know if you've seen it. There's a famous, if you like, photo out there from soldiers in Afghanistan, and they're holding up.
Yeah.
But one thing I try to explain to people is if you look at the way the camera's angled, it's making it look a hell of a lot bigger than what it is.
All you have to do, hold it out in front of you like that. That's forced perspective, and it makes it look bigger.
Exactly that. Exactly that.
Hey, Mark.
Hey,
my friends. I think there were people coming in. Hey, Tony. Hey, Diana. Yeah, absolutely. And I thought, with solifuges, how many species of solifuges have you got then? You got a couple of species of solifuges?
Yeah, only about 3 at the moment. Funny enough, you should mention that. I've been trying. I've just I got sent by Scott actually. Scott knows how much I love the camels. He knows how much I love them. And I believe it's Venomous Visions.
They've just got some in,
yeah, the black Egyptian camel spider, the Egypticus. Oh wow! I fell in love with that, but I can't afford it at the moment. But I would love one.
No. I'm sorry, because obviously they're not necessarily the easiest of things to keep, and a lot of people make mistakes with centrifuges.
Very much so.
And especially, and I've done this myself years ago when I first got one, is when they go into malt. So, and I've done it myself, and I'm going to go, yeah, you know what, I've done that game probably like 10 years ago, because they look dead.
Yeah.
When they go to malt, and it takes ages.
Yeah, it's almost like they go like almost like scrunched up a bit, and like you said, they look dead. Yeah.
And it's like so many people, and they say, well, yeah, get a camel spider solid featured from a show. A few would say, go, oh, it's died, and chuck it out, and you're like, oh, that was probably molting.
Probably molting. Exactly that. Yeah. And again, it's another reason why I want to do the video on them, because again, there's so much like misconception with the information about them. There's not much information about them out there. And I got told when I first got one by many people, it's like, God, it's going to be dead within a couple of weeks. It's going to be this, that. It's going to be the other. But again, their requirements, if you keep them in captivity, are a lot different from your regular spider or your regular tarantula, things like that. Especially with things like eating, even down to feeding as well. You know what I mean? They eat a lot more than what your tarantula or spider would. So I think a lot of people get that mixed up. They think of it as like, even though it's not a spider, they think of it, it's going to be on that same sort of basis when it's not.
No, that's it. They are different, and they're a lot more active than a lot of tarantulas. They're running around, so they're using up that food anyway. Whereas the tarantula doesn't need a huge amount of energy and doesn't get much energy from its food.
Yeah.
That's why, especially like your big Theraphosa tarantulas, only need feeding like some of them once a month, if that, sometimes, because they really don't need it. These guys, solid features, they need food a lot more because they're running around actively searching for it.
Yeah.
In the wild, it gets really hot during the day, but then also really cold at night. And there's those sort of temperature differences between them and stuff, and trying to find that fine balance.
Exactly, trying to replicate that,
Because some people will keep them really hot, but then go, oh, these are desiccators. Like, because they'll go underneath things to get to the humidity. There is some humidity underneath rocks and, whatever, little bit of foliage there is and stuff. So they're not the simplest of things to keep, certainly.
Yeah.
Especially if, when people, which I've done myself, panic when they go into molt, think they're dead.
I did. I got my biggest one I got is the banded camel spider, and I did exactly the same. When it molted, I've never taken the lid off. I hadn't seen it in a couple of days. Literally took the lid off, lifted this height, and it was there like that. And I was like, oh no! And I was like, art started going. I was like, no, absolutely devastated. But it was molting.
And so anyone out there that if you do have a camel spider and it looks dead, leave it.
Yeah.
And you think it should, if it is molting, it should have molted by now. Keep on leaving it.
Yeah. Be patient. Wait. Leave it be.
Doesn't happen like in the space of a day. It can be weeks sometimes.
Yeah, it can take a long time.
It's like it's mental. So that's cool. So we're going to we sort of mentioned Aaron, but you started up a rescue for spiders. What's your rescue called?
Webbed Up Rescue. To be fair, I haven't really done. I've set up a page and everything, but I haven't really promoted it much as such yet, because I'm still trying to put things together, because I want to make it all proper. I want to do a proper job with this. There's a great bunch of guys. I believe some of them might be on the group chat now that have also helped. So I'm trying to get people literally from all over the country. So if we could get sort of areas covered, then we could literally cover the whole of the UK as a whole, which would be really good. Yeah, so I got the idea because over the last year, I've taken 50, 60 tarantulas in from people that neglected them or don't want them no more. Or as we were speaking earlier, I've got to that point where they're just overwhelmed with how many they've got. So can you take some off my hands? So I thought it'd be a really good idea to do.
I mean, definitely is. I mean, I was listening to the episode you was on with One Shared Brain Cell.
Yeah.
Podcast. And listen to how it started, and you could hear the passion in you when it came to it. So if you want to tell people that story on here as well, but I do recommend people go and listen to One Shared Brain Cell podcast.
Yeah, they're good, great bunch.
Listen to Bear's episode and listen to my episode on there as well. We'll do some more cheeky plugs. But how did it all sort of come about?
As in what?
What kind of kickstarted it? There was that you had that story that you said to those guys on was it the Tattooist?
Yes, of course, right. So yeah, obviously there's been a few times where I've gone out and picked them up and this, that, and the other. So it was always in the back of my mind maybe to do. But what really got it going, a friend of mine popped me a message through Facebook. And like, listen, mate, I don't know what to do. You're probably the best person to message. I just gone to a tattooist to get a tattoo done in Yate, which is very, very close to where I'm from. He's got 4 tarantulas. They are in a really, really bad way. I was like, okay. I was like, is there any chance you get a few pictures just to send me so I can see? And he sent me some pictures, and it was truly like heartbreaking. I mean, the substrate was literally probably about a centimetre thick. It hadn't been changed in what I could only say is years, if you like. You know what I mean? The white mold, the rotten food. There was like crickets everywhere that had just been left to rot. It was appalling. So I thought, right, okay, I'm going to go down and try and approach this bloke in a nice way, just try to say, right, mate, you know. So I popped down and I said to him, right, so what do I see your tarantulas? He's like, no, of course. I said, listen, I said, like, I'm not trying to like patronize you or anything like that. I said, I've got a lot of experience with tarantulas. I keep them. I have for years. I've got a big collection. These guys are in an appalling state. I said, these have been purely neglected. I said, that substrate, I said, they can't live off that. I said, all this rotten food around them. I said, how can you see that that's right? Or how can you see that as acceptable? I mean, we got into a bit of a dispute. He did get a bit funny with me for a bit. But he did have a rosea there, and it was in even worse than what I just explained. So he let me take that one away, and I said to him, listen, here's what you need. And I gave him a list of everything that he needed and said, listen, if you do this, you can get these enclosures up to a decent standard, and your tarantulas live a happy life. You know what I mean? I said, you can't have them like this. And he reassured me. He said, that's absolutely fine. I'll get them sorted. I said, well, okay. I said, I'm going to pop back in a week today and just check up on them. I said, if they're not, I said, I'm going to do everything I can to take them away. So, of course, I left it for that week. And to be fair, I had it in my gut that they weren't going to be sorted. I just had that feeling. So I went back and, unfortunately, he hadn't done nothing. So, again, we got into a bit of a dispute. He was like, oh, do you think you are the tarantula police? It was like, well, at the end of the day, you're neglecting these animals. You know what I mean? I said, this was a dog or a cat. I said, there'd be a massive uproar. You know what I mean? There are people you could call. I said, I need to do something about this. So, long story short, after a bit of a dispute, I took all of them away, brought them back into my care, rehoused them all, which was quite an emotional episode to do, actually. I did do an episode on my channel, but it was hard because simple things like when I put the catch cup in, all 4 of them literally wandered in.
Yep.
And it was almost like they knew what I was doing. They were like, oh my God, he's saving me. He's taking me out this pit and putting me into something nice. And when I put them in to their new home again, they all wandered out with no bother. So yeah, and then that I thought, you know what? No, I need to get something in place. If only over the next year or so, I only help out 2 people or a couple of tarantulas. It's still an achievement for me, and it's still a good thing. So yeah, that's what we're putting the piece together.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, yeah, as it had they've been doing this to a cat or dog, they would have been done by, you know, the authorities and stuff, and people would report. But unfortunately, because some people see, you know, go, well, it's only a tarantula, who cares? And it's like, well, that's not the attitude. That's what I mean.
If somebody was out there, like, I don't know, I looked out the window now, my next door neighbour was kicking their dog or dragging it off the street, you know what I mean? People would be absolutely raging about it.
Yeah.
And it's sad to think, and it's one thing I've always said to people as well, is that there's no problem in asking for help or asking for advice or things like that. But when it comes to things like what I've just explained, like pure utter neglect and no care whatsoever, yeah, it's bang out of order. And if I can try and be that voice somehow in some way, then yeah, I'm going to do it.
Absolutely. And Leah just put, yeah, some people, no matter how much you try to help, they don't listen and just call you ignorant. Which unfortunately there are people like that.
Yeah, unfortunately there is. Yeah.
And unfortunately, we have a tendency to always defend ourselves. That's why we in situations like that, as you would have done, you go in being like, oh, if you do this, that'll be absolutely fine, and but whereas like, yeah, if you'd gone in, all guns blazing to someone of like, what the hell are you doing? You see it on social media all the time, whether it be, especially on Facebook groups, whether it be, I suppose, or reptiles is a whole other thing. Sometimes some of the venom get spat around by various people, and it's all like just simple attacking someone. Then they don't listen to you. They will just fight back. Whereas at least try and look and want to help you, sort of thing. And so unfortunately, still some people that just won't. So hey, Asini. So there's got a few people saying that they're happy to be a part of it in different areas of the country for you.
Yeah, of course. Always appreciate the help.
I mean, the thing is that most of us, I need to actually. I got an email today from someone in Birmingham, so I need to contact the likes of Scott and stuff. I know he's Coventry, but to be like, there's someone in Birmingham that's having difficulty with a tarantula. Another thing, because I contacted my zoo. Oh, okay. Like, can someone come over and help us? I'm like, yeah, we're 2 hours away from you.
So, so like that. Speak up. Yeah, mate. I mean, there we go.
Right. There'd be a brave them to try and be like, yeah, I'm going to stop you taking my spider. Sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, all the terrorists did say to me, it was like, oh, who do you think you are, the spider police? It was like, well, yeah. That's what you want to call it. That's fine, I'll take that.
So, and I just called you a massive cuddly bear.
I am a cuddly bear. I can be grizzly at times, but yeah.
That's it. That's always a. Well, hey, Aaron. Well, unfortunately, these things do happen. I've had my work. We had a rosea donated to the park, and when they arrived, it was like, yeah, this is more of a rescue situation, kind of thing, because they brought it in one of those large flat plastic critter keeper type things, XXL ones, large flat one. That where the lid was meant to be black, but it faded so much from where it probably been sat in the sun or something.
I'm with you.
I've never seen one fade. So like, had them, I've got them 10 years old, somewhere in like they don't fade. What the hell? But like substrate just rock, coir that just gone rock solid hard. And so, had the wall bowl that was just encrusted and all this.
Oh no!
Hey, Jeremy. Well, somehow the spider looked fairly healthy, and it's on display at the park, and actually looks quite nice. So it's a nice looking rosea, but it's like, again, yeah, just pile of molts and pile of dead crickets and stuff. You're like, you guys haven't looked after this at all. What the hell? What the hell are you doing? Kind of thing. And then also, I no longer had them. I think that there was issues with them. I had to gain someone ring up, but where they're in a house clearance and they just found 2 tarantulas that have just been abandoned.
God.
In a house. And they're like, we don't know what to do with these. I was like, bring him in. I'll take
it. Yeah, bring him in, yeah.
Thing, bring him in, I'll deal with it. So I think because they're like, we picked these, during this house that, someone's had to vacate or whatever, or has left or whatever, and they've just left these behind.
It's so bad, isn't it? It's like people can think like do it. I don't understand how people can literally just for instance, like being left at a house, they could just do that and just walk away.
Yeah,
Like,
Does anything degree got there before me? On sorting stuff out.
Yes,
people around the country are up for being a contact for Bear. Check out on over on Facebook, isn't it? The page.
Yes, it is. Yeah, Webbed Up Rescue.
Check it out and stuff, because the more people around the areas, I can certainly be sort of Cambridge, Royston area for for anything like that. That's not a problem for me.
Yeah, definitely, mate, definitely. I said more the merrier. Like you'll agree, we get a nice bunch of us together. You know what I mean? But yeah, hopefully we can make a nice impact.
Yeah, that's it. Challenge what it was. So you trying to be the northwest area, like Manchester area.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Let's have a look at it. Let's see who we got. Who else we got? I know there's a young lad called Jacob. He's also offered to help, like in the southwest area, from Exotic Tarantula Friends. Let's go on here. Where are we going? There we are. Webbed Up Rescue. So this load a second. Blah, 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 blah. There we go. Scroll down a minute. Oh, I had a list on there of who's. Yeah, we got Nikki Ann. She's from the Kent area, sort of southeast. Obviously, Sharon, who's on here, like the northwest at the moment. And of course, myself, being Bristol, so more the merrier, whatever area you're in, it all helps.
Yeah, I was like, you can put me there for like, Cambridge.
Oh, Craig, are you talking about my Spider-Man picture?
I'm not talking about Spider-Man.
Basically, going back, it's a couple of years. Well, during the first lockdown of COVID, actually, I dressed up as Spider-Man. I did look the part. I just looked like a overweight Spider-Man that just loves McDonald's way too much. And I shared the memory literally a couple of days ago. Let's see if I can. Where is it? Sorry, Craig. I'm just showing it for everybody, mate.
We love scarring Craig's eyes.
Right, are you ready for this, guys?
Let's put that on big. There we go. Look at that.
Look at that. Bosh. Do you like that, Craig?
Mate, Craig's night.
He's not liking that. I'll post that on your wall later, mate. Oh, brilliant.
Craig has saved it for future reference.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I was scarring him yesterday on WhatsApp.
Oh, Craig, no.
He loves it, really. He loves it, really.
He does, yeah. Is the area Bear? Will you come to the Brighton show? It's in November. I expect so. Yeah, because Brighton's not too far from Bristol, really. A couple of hours. So it'd be the same as going out to BTS, sort of mid this month. So yeah, I would try my best, bud.
Are you going to the BTS? Yeah.
Yeah, I am indeed, mate. Yeah, I was absolutely devastated, to be fair, because I really, really wanted to go to the London show.
Yeah.
But I literally purchased the car the same week. Within 24 hours of having the car, it was in the garage having repairs.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's just like that. It took all my funds and it was crap. So yeah, I didn't attend the London show.
That was a good show, but yeah, I mean, BTS is where it's at, isn't it, for the shows? AKT.
Yeah.
So, like it's just an epic show. Like, there's nothing that comes close to BTS, really.
Yeah.
Just the scale of it. I mean, for me, well, it's my birth. I always call it my birthday show because it's just after my birthday, so it's even
Nice.
better.
Yeah,
So.
I'm very similar, but with the Bristol show, because the Bristol show is 2 days after my birthday.
No. And then so, Bristol show is a fantastic show as well. To be fair, that's a really nice show.
Yeah, it's a good show. Good show. Yeah, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to BTS. Really looking forward to that this year. Really looking forward to it.
Hey man. But yeah, anyone who hasn't heard of when the BTS is or doesn't know what the BTS is, it is on the 21st of this month at the Warwick Event Centre, the British Franchise Society show. All things Invertebrate will be there. Largest invert show there is and stuff, and absolutely, it's an amazing day. And you'll see things there that you won't see at other shows often as well. That's why it's always worth going to that one, because especially a lot of the big traders get stuff in and save stuff purely for the BTS. I think that they don't necessarily take to other shows. So that's why it's always good to get there. You never know what you're going to see. The thing. Well, that's cool. And obviously, you're going to be at the Bristol one because that's on your doorstep.
Literally, mate, yeah, the Bristol show is literally 10 minutes from my house, which is just absolutely awesome.
That's like the dream, that is, having the show 10 minutes away from
you. You cannot get better than that. If I went to attend the Bristol show, I'd just be an absolute fool, wouldn't I?
So, yeah, that one's in July, which, yeah, fantastic. Fantastic. Just I'm always hope that I'm not in the big room because it gets a bit warm in there.
It does. Yeah, do you know what? I made the mistake last year of wearing a jumper, and Jesus Christ, I was walking around and it was dripping. I was sweating buckets at the Bristol show.
I bet that was, yeah. So, Ben's off to make mac and cheese. Is he making all of us mac and cheese as well?
Yeah, do you want my address?
Does he make a good mac and cheese first? If he makes a good mac and cheese, we'll put our orders in. So,
I have a question. How do you deal with scorpions? I'm not really. Scorpions is not my area really, but Phil might be able to assist you there.
Yeah, I've paired up my Nemos earlier. Well, 2 months ago. There's a video of them mating on my channel. So, in both houses, I have identified man and female. If they're fully grown for the species, you can put the tanks next to each other and see what the reactions are. You can put substrate from the female's turbo tank in with the male and see if he starts basically vibrating around. Then he's excited, basically, and he's up for it. And then you can sort of introduce them. Another thing, it sort of depends on what species you're looking at. So you need to know, species and what size they get up to. Just keep an eye on them because sometimes they're not up for it. My Spinnifer, I've got a massive male Spinnifer. Put him in with my female. And he was doing everything right. She legged it. I've never seen a scorpion move so fast. Literally she flew herself. She went, no, I'm going away from this. So, hit up Tim Baxter. Actually, I was going to say, hit up Tim Baxter. He does a lot of scorpion pairings. So if you search his scorpion page, and the various scorpion pages that he's on, so he'll certainly help you out as well. But yeah, it all depends on the species a little bit. So if you definitely know you got male and female, you should be able to see the sort of behaviours from them. Asian forest, which Asian forests? Because I would say make sure they are the same species of Asian forest first, because a lot of them are sometimes sold misidentified.
Yeah, about to say they get misidentified, don't they? Yeah.
just a bit, just a bit. Of the amount you see where like they're sold as like loud to curse or whatever, and it's not their Silenus. And you're like, no, ain't it? I think got the wrong one there. And so happens all the time. Yeah, wear no hoodies at these events. You shed a few pounds.
Yeah, do you know what? I'd go back to the Bristol show. It was it that I saw, the Tarantula Society. I said to him, "I'll do me a favour." I said, "Do you got any t-shirts left, have you?" He was like, "What size?" It's like 3XL. I was like, "No, we don't do that size." I'm like, God.
Yeah, I'm always saying because that's what I wear, and it's like they never have that size. It's like, just do that size as well.
I know.
There's enough of our packets that want that size.
Yeah, I literally had to keep walking outside. I was that hot. I had to keep going outside just to get a bit of fresh air.
That's it. Oh, Leah's up to 1,013 subs. That's awesome, Leah.
Yeah, awesome stuff.
Definitely. Well, Riso thinks Java Metro Sinus. Send good pictures to Tim, and he'll to any of us, and we'll tell you whether they actually are, because most so-called adult Java Metro Sinus are not Java Metro Sinus. Thing often. We'll check out Scorpion. I think Scorpion Keepers UK. There should be I think it was there that Jaws Zachary's done of IDing them as well. Because as far as so far we haven't actually in our little Scorpion group where we're trying to ID Scorpions. We haven't really seen anyone actually with adult Java Metro Sinus at the moment. They get sold. It means get sold as them, but they ain't them.
Yeah.
So, and there are certain things that you got to really, really look out for. So,
he said the name of the chat. My furniture started floating.
Sparse Fighters. They're at all the shows, Aaron.
Great bunch, Smart Spiders, especially Luke. Spoke to him many a times. Great chap he is. Great chap.
And Daddy Spar as well. Daddy Spar is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But they're both absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's almost turned into a tradition of mine, actually. Every time I've gone to a show, I've always made a purchase from Smart Fighters.
You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong.
No, you can. They do have some wicked bargains on.
Good prices, decent sizes. Everything always looks super healthy.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And if you have a problem, you know full well that you can just send Luke a message and he'll get back to you normally fairly quickly.
Yeah.
But he's often pretty quick. I'll get back to you if you do have any problems. Cases was introduced to you, Bear, because of Natalie from Enclosures. Awesome customs you've had made, Bear.
Natalie, she is absolutely fantastic. For guys in the chat that don't know, Natalie runs a page called Enclosures. Like, she literally makes customized enclosures, like she does her own, but also to anything that you specify. She uses like top materials, some real nice acrylics. Customizes it like things like ventilation, how you want it, where you want the access. You can have literally like for instance, the roof, the top off to come off. You can have the sides come off as well. She's really good prices as well. Really good prices. Also sells teas. She's just done a competition. I believe she's got some more coming up as well. But she's a great person to go to if you're thinking to get customized enclosures. For those of you this one here, you might be able to see in the background. This is my Theraphosa Sturmy. She customized this for me. Even the ventilation on the side, which I thought was an amazing touch. She done the ventilation holes, but she wrote it in bare, which was just really, really cool. The lid comes up and everything. We've got LED lights right at the bottom. Yeah, her work is just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think she's started doing she's on a couple of the shows now. I need to actually have a proper look because I've seen obviously advertise a few, And on pictures, they do look pretty sweet, to be fair. And so, and it's always a thing. Always like it's one of those things as well. You don't just collect spiders or whatever. You end up collecting different enclosure types as well. It's like,
you do, yeah.
The enclosure getting excited just as much as the inhabitant of the enclosure. Sometimes like, I want that enclosure because that enclosure looks awesome.
Yeah. Mate, I was exactly the same. It's like, like, for instance, like when you get your spider mail, isn't it? You get all excited because you're like, what's in here? I'm exactly the same, you know what I mean? It's like, always like, from full areas to habitats to exoterras. Like, I think I've got every enclosure going, I believe.
That's it. Ooh. Oh, also make shelving that'll be working with her on. Nice. Going to make shelving.
Oh, it's just make shelving. Cool, okay.
Nice. Oh,
yeah, that'd be
as a
interesting to see.
Free on the site. It's going to be used for discounts on future purchases.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes. I'm trying to think what she calls it now. She has got a name for it, but yeah, there is a point system. So yeah, you do make a purchase, you get points, and obviously you can reuse them at a later date for discounts. So it is really good. Just check them out.
Yeah, that's a cool idea. Oh, please send pictures. Yeah, if you send me some pictures, I'll have a look. You can send them to Tim as well, on Reese. Tim will soon be able to tell you. Probably quicker than I will. On the thing. Yeah, we'll take one number. Like, I won't tell you straight away. Whereas on the thing. I believe it's called Boomting.
Boomting, that's the one.
Boomting, I believe.
Yeah, so this is one of the enclosures I got. So this has got a communal of 5 regardless inside. There's one of the beauties just there. There we go.
That's a real nice looking enclosure.
Yeah, this is good. Nice and simple, lightweight as well. Literally on the top, you've got this bit. It comes right off the top. Bish bash bosh. Simple as that. Nice and effective. But yeah, they're really cool enclosures. I was very lucky to get this sent out to me by her actually. But I do need to upgrade it because she sent me the 5 regardless, which I've got inside here. But they've all just molted and gained quite a lot of size. There you go. But yeah, some absolute beauties. Yeah, so that's going to be a nice rehouse in the future. I do know. I've got another thing as well, especially for I love the regardless. I just think they're amazing. I think I've got about 15. I think I've got.
Nice. Teresa said that's awesome. Looks nice.
Thank you, buddy. Yeah, it's a great enclosure. I got quite a lot of stick for this enclosure because I've done an episode on it because Natalie asked, like, if I send you this enclosure, can you do a review video on it? So I was like, yeah, of course, not a problem. And I purchased the 5 regardless from her. So I did a nice video, the whole setup, putting the regardless in. And I think it was Scott's page that I put it on. Said, everybody, check out this video. And it was a certain individual. He was having none of it. He was like, "Oh, saying that I'm a bad keeper. Those tarantulas are going to kill themselves. They're cannibalistic." Which, yes, we do know that they are cannibalistic. But at the end of the day, as long as they're fed right, they have the acquired space. Positharia, majority of that genus can live happily, communally together. But yeah, you weren't having none of it. A few of the other guys on the page did actually get involved. It was like, mate, what you want about? It's okay. It's fine. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, and it's all like you can buy them as groups of 5 quite often.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like they're gonna eat each other. You're a bad keeper. They're gonna end up dying. It's like, well, they've been happy so far. I just kept trying to explain. As long as they've got the adequate space, they're fed correctly, they will live happily together. Simple as. It's the same as I know quite a lot of people just kept. Well, quite a lot of the Positharia genus, like things like the Botanica. I know quite a lot of people just kept them in communals as well.
Yep, I had Formosa as a communal.
Yeah.
Which actually won them in a raffle. So that was cool. At Seas years ago, I was them in a full setup. Year before that, they were doing a communal of Metallicas.
Yeah.
And stuff. And stuff. And the thing is, again, goes wrong because people often don't feed them enough. Sometimes.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
they are going to eat each other. I mean, if you don't actually do it right, then yes.
But again, that boils down to the whole thing of
anything.
research and doing, you know what I mean, doing things correctly.
Yep. And it's the thing, like, you wouldn't have done that without the prior research and without you knowing already whether you could or not. There we go. Oh, there's little transparent. Edgeways Silanus. Yep. So, yep, cool. So they don't get, Silanus don't get hooch, Dad. So if you bought them as also adults, they're probably adult. Yeah, either put some subject for the female in the male and see what his reaction is. If he starts basically doing all these jerky movements, kind of vibrating, he's ready. And just see, be aware that they will kind of grab, they need to grab each other and stuff. You can watch, if you watch my video on the Nebo mating, basically like that, just with different scorpions, sort of thing.
I can't get my female P. Metallica to eat. Or she doesn't want to eat food in about 2 months. Honestly, mate, I wouldn't panic too much. I'd just say I've got quite a few Metallicas in my collection, especially adult female. Well, I'm guessing is it an adult female? But honestly, I think one of mine has gone about 4 months without eating. It's quite common. I wouldn't panic too much, buddy.
Greg said could be pre-molt, which could easily be pre-molt sort of thing. If it's not grabbing that, I wouldn't worry too much about that one. As long as it's not like drastically thin. I think the episode is not completely thin. So, there was someone said us talking about scorpions. Tim Baxter's in. Guess what he's been doing most of the day? I'm guessing pairing up scorpions.
I thought that she hasn't molted since I've had her since a Bristol show last year. So yeah, you're probably looking at adult there, bud. Adult female. Scorpion King is in the house.
Just got myself a really nice scorpion from Bristol, actually. Going to be being I both secured it. And one that you don't see very often. It's made us all jealous. Every day I'm
I think to be fair, at some point down the line I might have to get a few scorpions in my collection.
That was awesome. I don't know, but do you do any kind of breeding at all with your collection, or is it they're just pets?
Yeah, I just sort of like I say just probably since last year I started approaching the old breeding thing, if you like. So far, I did have my first egg sac a few months back for my about last month I think it was my Platyoma, but it was the dud sac, which was absolutely devastating. But it is what it is. Going to retry with her at a later date. I just found an egg sac from my Chromatus, my adult female, which I found today, which was really good. Nice. I've recently paired my my Incy Gold, my female. She's been paired. Nice. My Syrio Pagopus, my Hattie Hattie, or Haiti Haiti, however anybody wants to pronounce it. I paired her about 2 months ago. So yeah, we've got a couple of little projects in the works.
Nice. Yeah, I bet beginning of April paired my Himori up.
Yeah.
So purely because I ended up with a mature male, so I was like, well, I might as well give it a go.
yeah, definitely. Why not?
And so there was one that was a rehomed one that ended up maturing that male, and so I was like, right, I might as well give him a go with my female, sort of thing, and we'll see what happens. And there's a video of that on my channel of their mate, because she played hard to get. she wasn't like defensive or aggressive in any way. She just stood there, just with closed legs, and he was like proper like trying to get underneath, and so I'm like, come here, sort of thing. He was like, thing. Stuff.
Oh yeah, and of course, I completely forgot. Obviously, we got Aaron in the chat as well. I picked up a beautiful mature male GBB, Chromatopelma pubescens. Yes, I said it right. But yeah, I picked up a male, which we've got. I've got an adult female literally right here. So that's going to be another future breeding project as well.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's fantastic. Stuff. I was probably, picked up the scorpion for Tim today for brownie points.
And of course, as well, go back to the old breeding thing, is I would love to some point down the line breed the camel spider somehow.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
That'd be an amazing project to do.
Because I don't know. I know people claim to have bred solophagids, but I see very little evidence of it.
Yeah, I've done I've searched online so many times to try and find that sort of information, or whether there be videos or whether people there's done it. But there's very little stuff out there on breeding camel spiders. So, I mean, I think a lot of the places, like, as we know, like the Spider Shop and other places, they get a lot of stuff imported. So, but it'd be very interesting to try and achieve that somewhere down the line.
I mean, that would be, in some ways breakthrough if it's able to do that. Because I know like Polyped in Germany, that they've claimed in the past to have bred them, but they import stuff in, and it's all like they just put up a photo of some young real tiny camel spiders being like, we bred these, and like that doesn't prove anything. That has not proven that you've bred them. What's your document? Did you document anything? No, and stuff. Whereas what did they do? How did you do this? Sort of thing, and like nothing. And it's like you're not just going to accidentally have that as probably a wild caught gravid female that happened to happen to be successful with, kind of thing. That's not actually breeding them. So I will definitely have t-shirts and mugs at the BTS. I don't know about tank tops. I can look into it, but I certainly don't have any printed. I think there's tank tops on the spring store, certainly, but there'll definitely be t-shirts at BTS and mugs for sure.
Nice.
So,
as Harry said, apparently Harry just said there's a camel spider breeding video on YouTube.
Yeah, I think I know the one that he means, which I don't think actually, again, there's not really any actual proof in there.
Yeah.
Hey, Scott just asked how the camel's doing.
Yes, Scott. The camel spider's all doing well, buddy. Really, really well. Even the one I picked up at the Taunton show where I saw you. Haven't bought that beautiful Egypticus from Venomous Visions yet. Was it Venomous Visions or?
Yeah.
So wasn't it? Yeah. Haven't got the funds for that, which I'm absolutely devastated about. But we'll see what we're like at the end of the week, because I would love to have one of them in my collection. But how's yours doing anyway, buddy? Because obviously I know you've got one at the same time as me, so hopefully all well.
As asked, will you have a mankini? I'm not sure if that's directed at you or me, actually, that one. Who's that's directed at?
Well, to be fair, with how hot it does get at those shows, I would quite happily wear one.
That's going to be the thing now, right? Ben's going to turn up to BTS in a mankini.
God, imagine the sight, Christ. Scott, you're going to get that black one. Yeah, I'd like to, mate. If it's still at the end of the week, then we'll see. It all depends on my funds at the moment, because I'm pretty tied up with having my car fixed and everything like that. So we'll see.
And I'm saying, malted and pretended to be dead.
That's what we were talking about earlier.
literally talking about it earlier of how they look dead when they're molting, and that's when so many people throw them out because they think they're dead.
So how is it molted successfully now, Bud?
And stuff, but they
that is crazy to see. Obviously,
they're certainly for the more experienced keepers. Just because from their they can be that bit difficult to tell what they're actually doing. Sort of thing. I would only recommend them to be like how. And there's not a great deal of information out there. When I kept them, had them 10 years ago, there was nothing about the fact that when they go into molt, that they look dead. So I made that mistake. And so I'm thinking it was dead when it wasn't. Or chances are it wasn't.
Yeah.
And so, and as I'm saying, they eat a lot more than what people think and stuff. You get the temperature stuff. It's definitely as much as there's not much.
I definitely think for anybody keeping camel spiders, the key is definitely replicating the heat. That is key. I find personally, anyway. I think a lot of people think that they can get a camel there and just sort of like have it at room temperature and things will be okay. But yeah, you definitely got to try to find that balance. Bearing in mind they're from some very hot places on the planet to try and replicate that, especially like getting that counteraction as well from what it's like during the day compared to what it's like during the evening.
Yep. Yeah, no. I know someone who was it? It may have even been Clayton, maybe. It was on a while ago who was keeping quite a few, and they it may have been Clayton who was keeping them in their conservatory.
Okay.
So where it would go super hot during the day, especially when the sun would go through it, and then really cold at night.
I'm about to say that it literally goes the opposite edge during the evening, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and I think I want to say it was when that, and then quite a few years like that sort of thing. When again, most people were only like having them for a few months, kind of thing, and they was having them for years. And so it was because it was like giving them such big changes in temperature and stuff, and like especially come the summer months, like really really hot during the day, and then again allowing that temperature just to completely go at night, and so but also keeping them really deep substrate as well. He was where they could really burrow down if they wanted to.
Yeah, he likes to dig.
So yeah, absolutely. So are there species that you don't currently keep that are kind of on your wish list apart from the Egypticus?
We go back to tarantulas. It's probably a popular. If Scott's still with us, he knows this one. It'd be the Paphiopedilus salaris. What I would do to have one of those beauties in my collection, they're just absolutely beautiful. Hopefully one day, somewhere down the line, I might win the lottery and I'll have the funds to get one. Also, I love the Cereopagopus genus. And there's one, I've never seen them about in the UK, funny enough, the Valhalla. But I've never seen them about.
The Valhalla. I saw someone had him a few years ago in the UK. I can't remember who had them now, but they weren't cheap. That way.
Well, I can imagine.
They were.
Also, I look every now and again, like I scan the web and just obviously the Facebook groups as well, but I've never seen them about, never. But yeah, that's definitely on my wish list.
So, we see, pictures of adult Valhallas. You just saw like they are stunning. They are stunning spiders.
They are. They're really beautiful teas. What about yourself? Is there something that you would like love to have in your collection, or?
So many things. So many things. My problem is because I love it all. So I've got bits of everything. So it's like there's Beatles I would love to have. So I mean, spider wise, I don't know if there's necessarily a like I'm really like I really want to get this kind of thing because there's a few every now and then, but I know it's probably more down. I mean, some probably more the isopods. I would love to have Red Diablo isopods.
Yeah.
So, but you're looking at £300 for 10 of them.
A lot of money in there. A lot of money.
So they're not a cheap isopod, and a lot of people go, "You're mental, Phil. What are you doing spending that amount of money on woodlice and stuff?" But and the Ember Bees as well. Ember Bee isopods are absolutely stunning. So they're kind of my wish list a little bit. And stuff as well as other things like some of the different scorpions that I don't currently have. At some point, I'll get Emperors again. At some point.
Yeah.
You used to have them years ago when they were a tenner a piece, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, look nowadays, like, I wish I had all those Emperors still.
But yeah, I had a cost page as well, there, like everything else.
Yeah, that's it. It's the thing. It all goes up and down all the time, But yeah, I'm one of these that because I'm such a generalist. Every so often, something will just pop up every now and then. I'm like, oh, I like that. I want that. Okay, or whatever.
Yeah.
And so Grace said, "Don't we all feel that's it? We all wish we'd bought all the Emperors like 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, like 15 years ago, when they're all a 10." I remember the days where literally an Emperor Scorpion was not an exciting Scorpion, but Spinifex.
So common, wasn't it? It was just basic.
They were so common that I was like, "Oh yeah, I really like the Asian Forest because they're I'm going to go for the Spinifers because they're a bit more exciting because they're rarer." And now it's the other way around. Stuff. Like, yeah, it's an odd one.
Yeah.
So, Reese, any updates on my Summer Gorum? They're still going. It was up to looking absolutely beautiful.
Wow, beautiful speaking, beautiful.
It's molted once since I had it, and molted successfully. Sort of thing, and actually sits down about a lot more than I expected it to, which is nice. As soon as I touch the tub it's in, it goes down its burrow, which is to be expected. But sometimes we'll just sit there and you're just like, "Yep, you're looking nice."
I love it when that happens.
Yeah, because it was like I got at the Coventry show last year because I had a really good day selling, so it was like, do I not? And then everyone said, "Do it, Phil," so I did. And then went, "Well, we're done. I've got this spider." But I mean, I don't. A lot of people go, "Kane, it's an expensive buy. What are you doing, Phil?" But I don't regret it. I mean, it's stunning.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! That is gorgeous, mate.
So I don't regret it.
Nah, of course not. God. So I'm hoping to find one at Bristol, mate. Reese.
Chris from the North will have them. So Spider Planet also they sell slings of them. I know Emil reads them, and they was one of the people that discovered them as well. Actually, there's him and Christoph from Transfer Room. They're the two of the people that first discovered them.
Oh wow! No, another interesting fact for the day.
It was them two. There was someone else as well. There was three of them. But I know, it was Emil and Christoph and someone else, and then like brought over for Ray Gabriel and Danny to sort of identify sort of thing. Sorry, because I believe the species part of the Sinoroksagorum is amalgamation of their kids' names.
Okay.
Because that's what I remember reading in the paper for it anyway. Of it, it's like three of their kids' names that have been merged together,
Combined into one, like
What a
species to find, though. What a species to find. It's stunning.
Yeah. And so which is like that's it, and then they get named after your kids as well, like even better. Chris put something to do with the children and people who found the spider.
Yeah, that's a nice touch, really. I like that. I like how they've done that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, which is cool. I think that's I got to it wasn't one that was on my wish list, but then Raj showed me this, showed me at the time. Obviously, I'd seen pictures of him and knew about him, and I was like, that's stunning. Even not under lights and the colours just pop on them and stuff.
Yeah, as soon as you look at it, you get transfixed, don't you, with the coloration? Yeah.
Yeah, Raj knew what he was doing. Phil, look at this. That's what it takes sometimes, isn't it? By the way, for me, it's like, some of the Beatles, there's Beatles out there that I would love to get that I haven't got yet, and stuff, and breed. One thing I would love to do is to be able to fully go through pupation with my Blue Death Alien Beetles and be successful in that would be cool.
Oh, nice.
So if I was able to, a few people have done it. So, as first show went to sort of big wooden tarantula on my parents' stand, walked around, and went back, and it was gone. And then seen weeks later on Leah's live on a wall.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be doing those. I don't know if they've got any more left, and they're not going to be getting any more of those in either, because they're not getting from the company that done them anymore. I don't even think the company does them anymore either. So there's I don't know if they've got any left or not of those of the wooden tarantulas, that wall hanging tarantulas, and they're no longer going to be a thing. And stuff, which I hope because they were cool. Maybe out of luck.
I need one.
I recently thought his girl loves my parents' stand, so my parents do all the toys and gifts at the shows.
Nice.
I now have my own stand at the shows, so I'm not on their stand anymore, really. So,
I think to be fair, this BTS can't come quick enough. I mean, the last show I attended was the Taunton show.
That was a good show. Taunton was good.
It was a really good show, buddy. Really good show.
Yeah, that was our first time going to Taunton to the Taunton show, and we enjoyed it. And so, as we sort of made us part of my parents done as part of their holiday because it's a bit far for my parents because it's a good 4.5 hours down there.
Wow.
4 to 4
bit of a track.
So So what they done, we went down the day before. They were having basically a holiday afterwards down in Cornwall. So they stayed around. So they're like, they said they'll do that one if they combine it with a holiday sort of thing. Have a holiday at the same time and do a show.
Yeah.
It's like
most of it.
A bit far otherwise. And so, but then so actually, I said that for years about the Bristol show. We've never done the Bristol show until it came back after all the lockdowns and stuff. Because I always said, it's too far. And then my dad relooked and went, oh, actually, so so about 3.5 hours. Maybe we can do that one. Done that one, and there was especially the first one after all the lockdowns. That was the first show back for any show, and it was mental. It was so busy. I was like, oh my god. So now we'll always be doing that one, always, for as long as that goes on now. Because that's a really, really good show. But BTS, I said BTS can't come quick enough and stuff. I know someone from the States has ordered me something to get. Hasn't told me what it is or who they've ordered it through, but I've been told there's going to be something for me to get out of BTS.
Okay.
I literally do not know who they've ordered it through. So, what's been ordered, and so it's like I'm both kind of really, really excited for that, as well as super scared. Like, what if it's something that's massive? Where am I going to stick it? Am I going to? I don't know what it is. I was like, can you tell me what sort of enclosure I need at least? So I make sure
It's a mystery.
Complete mystery. I was like, I've always got spare enclosures around, but it ends up being an adult Farraphosa or something. I was like, where the hell am I going to stick that?
Yeah, exactly. What size? Yeah.
So,
Speaking of Americans, what was sorry, go on, man. I was just going to say, I was Richard at the London show. Was he a nice person to meet?
It was lovely. It was, yeah. He came to my place the day before and stuff, and took him around the zoo and stuff, and came up into my flat and stuff, and I had a quick look at my collection and stuff, and absolutely lovely guy.
Fair play.
Stuff. I mean, at the end show, you could tell he was knackered. I don't think he looked so tired by the end of the show. But,
tracking over from the tree a day later, then he's at the show, and then all that, and yeah.
But he had time for for everyone and stuff. I just thought Richard was great. Just didn't get a lot of time to talk with him, sadly. And yeah, again, kind of to something, to look at who's just I'm just a guy with a camera, just a random guy with a camera, and that which is exactly how all of us, we see ourselves like just people with cameras, with a phone.
Yeah, true, very true, yeah.
Random stuff up on the internet, kind of thing. That's what he's like, even not, he offered to film a bit for me, so he done one of my intros for one of my videos, sort of thing. That was he completely offered to do that, which is lovely. He's like, tag me, don't know how many times now on Instagram in various, especially Red Panda stuff. Things.
Nice touch, it's nice touch.
Yeah, and even on Wednesday, during the a premiere, came into the premiere, and then straight away after I signed up to my Patreon. So
sweet.
But 30 seconds later, when we got the email came through, I was like, "What?" So it was
that's a bit of a surprise, wasn't it? To be fair.
I was like, oh, fair enough. Yeah, and not and the mid-level tier is $7 a month. I was like, oh, fair enough, dude. It kind of took me back a bit because you don't expect that at all, kind of thing. But really, really nice.
That's what it's about.
And so, yeah, the red pandas are really, really cute and stuff. Okay, so you pay extra to feed. It is a bookable experience. It is a book. I will just say it's a very popular experience. So if you want a half hour, it's a half hour experience with the red pandas. It is bookable. Just got to book it in advance. I don't know how much it costs, kind of thing. And that'd be with their actual keepers because I don't work with the pandas anymore. So, but it is a bookable experience if anyone wants to meet pandas. As well as there's a capybara one, that's also a very popular one. There's a tortoise one, which I do, which is not popular. Come meet my tortoises. And Rosie, you get to meet Rosie. So I'm grateful. Yeah, red pandas are beautiful, absolutely stunning animals. One of two love to see in the wild. That's it. Harry's messaged you on WhatsApp.
Yeah, just about have a look, buddy. I'll have a look. Yeah, I see. So this is the mating of the camel spider. Slip in the tenor.
Here's a tenor. A few teas work. Nice. He says, Mum's got a tortoise and wants to hump everything. That definitely sounds like a male tortoise. They do that. When they start headbutting you as well, headbutt me. Or if they chase you and it's like, oh my god. I had an old, I say old, it was a young male sulcata tortoise. And it chased one of our old maintenance workers, trainee maintenance workers, proper erect as well at the time. Just what's he doing? That's like, he likes you.
Trainee's like, oh, what's going on here?
Well, especially because it's not something you see every day. It is an erect tortoise. It's quite a sight, especially if it's a sulcata and stuff, because they're well endowed. And it opens up like a flower. Another thing. So you've got this big thing with this big disc and chasing you.
Oh god,
it's a 20-kilo tortoise as well. It's like, what the hell? Which is absolutely hilarious to watch.
I can imagine, mate.
So, no, Reese don't have any tapirs here, and yes, they do, because there's almost prehensile as well. Have a mind of their own. So
how many sort of different animals do you keep at the zoo, buddy?
Oh, good question. There's over 100 species.
Yeah.
I think so. Every zoo, when they say how many species, they never actually count their inverts into that species count normally.
Yeah.
Because you could have that just in inverts, kind of thing easily. I mean, we've probably got a good maybe around 20 species of invert. Something at the park, give or take.
Yeah.
But there's always some that are behind the scenes and not on display and stuff for whether whether it's clearing up or whatever. But we've got a few. Yeah, I think we're at an 8-acre zoo, so we're not a who's zoo. Stuff,
okay.
We've got stuff and some stuff that you don't necessarily see at other places as well. We've got main rules, which we've got cubs from. Don't see those at a lot of places. We've got genets, which you don't see at a lot of places. So we've got a few different things. And so, one of the few zoos in the UK nowadays with an invert house, because there's not many places with invert houses.
Awesome. I like it, mate. Fair play.
So, it's got a few. Well, it's got some reptiles and amphibians in it as well, but the bulk of it is inverts.
Yeah, nice.
So, which again, there's not actually that many places with that nowadays.
Yeah, of course.
So, most of them, all the ones on display, none of them are particularly like rare or endangered. We don't have necessarily the facilities for all the real particularly endangered stuff, but I think the endangered ones don't actually interest the public too much, unfortunately. So actually, I need to actually share Bob Barza. So the other day about there's been a release of over 5,000 partula snails back to the wild. So, which is apparently the largest release into the wild of any animal.
Oh wow, that's incredible.
5,000.
That's
been
amazing.
released from the likes of London Zoo, Chester Zoo, possibly Marwell. I think St. Louis Zoo in the States was part of it as well. You know, that's a tiny town. It's not that sort of size. But it's one of the largest projects going in zoos.
Yeah.
For the snail, which a lot of people don't realise. Because most public don't care.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And stuff. So if you go to zoos like London or Marwell or whatever, you might see sometimes a random room as a tank, glass tank, sort of size with a bit of cling film on the top, and very barren inside with just 2 ramps. There'll be perhaps 20 snails in there, and then there'll be a little sign next to it saying that that's half of the whole world's population of that species. There's 40 snails known in the whole world.
That is crazy.
That's how endangered some of those are. And of
That's
course, most
mental.
people walk straight past that because they're not interested in that whatsoever.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they'd be like, yeah. Wow.
Also, because of the way you have to keep them so sterile, it's not an interesting looking enclosure.
Of course, I'm with you.
It's just bare.
So of course, you've got to catch everybody's eyes, right? They're just seeing it, yeah.
And so all they're seeing is tiny little snails, and they're like, nah. What's that about? But really, really important work. It does have a website. Let me get up the zoo's website. There you go. Should be in chat now. So, that's awesome. So, what are your sort of wider plans for 2023 then?
So, well, I'm currently working on a website. So obviously, when my breeding and things like that comes forward, I'd like to. Well, I was hoping to do it at the Bristol show this year, but I think I'm going to leave it another year. I want to start doing the shows myself next year, which would be really, really cool. That's sort of like my main goal at the moment, is focusing on that. Obviously, increase my breeding projects. I want to look out for certain females and that as well to start other projects. But yeah, get the site launched, start attending shows, and I just see where that takes me. Really, obviously, work on the rescue page as well. That's a really, really big thing for me. So if I could get those 3 things on a go, I'd be more than happy. More than happy.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely fantastic. I think, doing the shows is great. I mean, I've been doing shows for many, many years, but this year's the first year I've had my own table.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic, especially at the Capital show, because I then had my, I got a banner for that one and stuff, and I had a bit of merch and stuff. It was like, I could see my table's evolved since the Taunton show. That was my first time having my own table, because I've always just nicked half a table from my parents. But it's not, going from that to then a whole table myself. I was like, I can do this how I want and stuff, and this and the other. And like, okay, this kind of growing, and it's a much different feeling to just having half a table.
Of course, yeah.
And stuff. It does feel quite different. And so, of course, being the other side of the table is very different to being, you know,
I can imagine just being that spectator, if you like.
It's a completely different feeling, sort of thing, and especially when you know people come up and actually you know are interested in your stuff and want to buy your stuff. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, I can imagine that's quite a pretty cool feeling, isn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, and especially, I mean, doing things like you say, you know, the social media certainly advertises at a huge amount because then people start coming to you and go, oh yeah, I watch your channel, and they want to buy, you know, your own bread stuff just because you've read it.
Yeah.
And they've watched it and stuff, which is, you know, again, absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I think that'd be really cool if you started having your own tables at the shows.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's definitely a big goal of mine. Like I said, I was hoping to do it this year. I was thinking, right, if I could aim for Bristol, because obviously that's on my doorstep, it might be a bit easier to be my first show, if you like.
Yep.
I think at the moment, I don't think I'm established to that point, if that makes sense. So I thought I was going to leave it for now, maybe start next year when I'm sort of like, got both feet on the ground with it all. And then, we'll go from there. But we'll see how it goes.
Oh, absolutely. So, and that'll be when you do that, or like your own bread slings and stuff, I'm guessing.
Yes, that's the plan. I've done like I've sold like quite a few to obviously like private sellers and things like that. And I've always had, which is really nice, like great feedback from it. It's like, oh, they're very well. You could tell obviously you're passionate what you do. They're very well packed, this, that, and the other, which is always good. So I'm okay on that perspective. I've been doing well there. I've also sold quite a few like Bears 8 Legged Freaks t-shirts and things like that. I got my big giveaway, which I need to release a video on actually, for hitting the 2,000 subscribers, which was an achievement I never thought I'd get to. So I was literally buzzing with that. So hopefully we can carry on progressing, and we'll have the Bears 8 Legged Freaks sign up next year, and and we'll see how it goes.
I think that's it, you know, and it's something where like you can see how it's developing at the shows of like, and that just makes it even better. Like obviously like Days or Beasties now is that he's now done a few of the shows and stuff, and something it's like really cool to see this, and it's not then just the big importers and stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
And sometimes the best bargains are on the smaller tables. Sometimes, more likely to get a really good deal on some of the ones.
Yeah.
Hey, Emily.
Yeah.
So,
this live is awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Memories for secret. It's not her cat. It's me.
That's a secret.
Oh, welcome back, Amy. So that's good. But when you do that next year, will you be also like having merch on your stand as well when you do that?
Yeah, because originally that's like when I first started doing like Instagram was my first sort of like social media account regarding my tarantula. So I started, everything was just done by pictures first of all. I was doing loads of pictures. So then people started messaging me, saying, "Oh, I like your pictures, really good at taking pictures, blah blah blah." And then I got the t-shirts done. I only got one done for myself, and I started doing lives on Instagram. Then people started messaging me saying, "Oh, your t-shirts are really cool. Like, how would I get one?" I thought, "Oh, maybe I could do like an outlet and send my t-shirts there." So I started doing that. Then of course, then a YouTube followed, and I thought, I'll get my logo done properly, which is what I done. And then I've got t-shirts. I've got a few mugs as well. I'm speaking to somebody at the moment actually. He's putting a nice selection of bits together, like key rings and things like that. So that'd definitely be a thing if I do the shows that I'd have on the stand as well. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. Liz, I said you posted.
I know exactly what you're on about. I haven't posted yet, but I will be soon. I've had to get some stock of things in so I can send it, if that makes sense. But yes, that will be sent soon.
Hopefully, you're both talking about the same thing.
I think we are.
sure you
Yeah, I think we are.
But yeah, no. Again, it's sort of a weird thing. Like when I first, I first started like my spring store mainly so I could have myself just a t-shirt for myself sort of thing. But then like people have bought stuff off there, and then I was like for the capital show, I was like humming and hawing about whether to get some in stock to have in stock and take with me. I was like, well, will people actually buy it and stuff? So I decided to get like 20 t-shirts printed and a few mugs printed. And so I sold 2 t-shirts. So I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. Kind of thing. Like, didn't expect to sell any, but there's
yeah.
2 at the show. That that sort of made me up. Kale Blesser was the first person to buy one off me physically and stuff. And then Danny Keepercast, Danny bought one as well. There's what other animals you got?
To be fair, it literally this room all here, over this side over here, is literally everything I've got is tarantulas. I do have a couple of centipedes, but I'm not really sort of clued up, knowledgeable about them at the moment. So I've sort of only got a couple, but it's something I'm starting to learn about, and I'd like to collect more of. My partner, she has got a leopard gecko, which I got for her last year. She had a beardy, which we had in the family for years and years and years, but sadly it passed away. She loves her lizards, so yeah, got her a leopard gecko. Yeah, apart from that, it's literally everything 8-legged in this room. Hopefully, maybe one day as well, maybe get a few scorpions. I wouldn't mind that somewhere down the line, which would be nice. But again, I'm only really clued up on my spiders as such. So once I've done a bit of research on other things, then yeah, maybe we'll get some scorpions and things like that.
Scorpions are cool. Hey, Jack.
I also think millipedes are quite cool as well. I see some beautiful millipedes out there.
There are some really beautiful millipedes out there. A lot of time where people go wrong with millipedes is either keeping them on coir, which is just don't keep them on coir, kind of thing. Or they'll not give them the rotten leaves and rotten wood, and some just give them fruit and veg, and some of them won't even eat fruit and veg. Yeah. Some will. There's some species that will not eat that at all. So it's again sort of like it's all down to research again, but not necessarily believing what if it's a shop or the vendor, whoever you're getting from, not necessarily believing them because they may not know themselves. Sort of thing, like
yeah.
I mean, it's all the time with like starter kits in pet shops, like millipede starter kits, and it always includes coir. And it's like that's pretty much deadly to them. They can get impacted on it, kind of thing. And there's just no goodness for them in that whatsoever. But yet shops sell it all the time, and people go, oh, and it's marketed for millipedes. So it's like, yeah, no, it's terrible for them. And stuff. But we do see it all the time. They just thought if you want to come down sometime, bring the family, that you can go and see their collection.
No, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, maybe you should do that sometime. Thank you very, very much.
Well, Leah, she's not all that far away from you. She's only in Abergavenny.
That's not too bad, to be fair.
So, probably not too far.
Yeah, what's that, Abergavenny? So what's that? Probably about just over an hour-ish maybe, give or take. What's cost £130?
Nice. I mean, I found a 9-year-old rosea for 130. I mean, they've gone up in price, but that seems a bit.
Yeah, I would say that's quite a bit steep, to be fair.
But you see that sometimes. If it's on something like Breedlove or whatever, sometimes it is steep on there. Sometimes you get some bargains, but there's also a lot on there that's way overpriced.
Yeah, but the thing is, again, it's another thing with like Facebook and that as well. You know what I mean? Especially with like single sellers or private sellers, they will list things for God knows what price. I see stupid prices on some of the Facebook groups for Yeah,
Yeah,
it's insane.
well, you know what? As what it is, you know, I meant to even think about this, but suppose remember the movie Eight Legged Freaks? That was a classic. You
Yes.
know, that was something I was gonna say. I'm going to guess that is where your channel name kind of comes from, really.
Yes, I absolutely love that film. I absolutely love that film. So of course, when I was trying to put my name together, it literally just came to me straight away. I was like, bears, eight-legged freaks, and boss. It was as simple as that. But yeah, I love that film.
It is a I mean, it's one of those films where it's terrible and brilliant at the same time.
Yes, it's so cheesy and so just yeah, but I love it. Absolutely love it.
So, hey, Jazz. Yeah, it's in that vein. Those, yeah, classic, yeah, cheesy, terrible kind of animal monster films that are completely inaccurate in every single way, shape, and form, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. There's those silly sounds that the spiders make as well in the film. It cracks me up every time.
So, yeah, I love watching those sort of films. And there's so many of them out there. Really, really so many
Yeah,
of them, and they're all just fantastic in their own way. I suppose, well, there's people where they can freeze people. But what about the bear? Is there a story behind bears or you
right.
calling yourself bear?
The whole bear. I changed my name legally now to Bear. Originally it was Aaron,
Yeah, I
um,
saw you.
but for many years. Yeah, for many years, obviously, I'm quite a big lad anyway. Obviously, got the beard. I used to do boxing. I used to box quite a lot. And then everyone started calling me Bear. So, of course, that just cottoned on from that. And then all my friends started calling me Bear. And it just stuck. And that became my nickname. And then since then, everybody just calls me Bear. I mean, I even got it across my knuckles as well. So, at that time, and then literally, even when I started the channel again, everyone calling me Bear. And I said to the missus, do you know what? I actually hate my real name. I'm going to change it to Bear. And boss, that's exactly what I did.
Fair enough.
I thought, yeah, why not? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Okay, you know, if you don't like, yeah, the name that they were given when you were born, then you know why not change it to something that you prefer anyway?
Exactly. That's what I mean. You know, you get one run at life. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, absolutely. So I think.
I see something. Sorry, Aaron, if you're still here, did I see something about a pet shop in Bristol for your GBB? How much was that?
Yeah, there we go.
Sorry,
Yeah, paid 135 for suspect female GBB from a pet shop near Bristol. Less than 12 months later, matured out male.
Oh god, what pet shop near Bristol? What shop was that, mate? If you don't mind me asking. I know there's a couple of reptile shops in Bristol that I'm aware of. I popped into one not so long ago, and they had so say it wasn't Levidas, an adult female, £180, which was just yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. But the problem there is sometimes they'll get them not necessarily like from like Spider Shop or anything like that. They'll get them from like Monkfield or Peregrine that get them from like Spider Shop or whatever. So it's gone, you know, they've added their bit, and then by the time it gets, you know, it's so expensive. That's just like this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Sort of thing. As okay, you know, shops in general will always be that little bit more expensive, and they've got more overheads and stuff, and that's fine. But there's more expensive, and then there's oof, this is getting a bit
yeah, to an extortionate price. Yeah.
Sort of thing. And yeah, with everything I've got sent, Jim's Reptile Jungle sent me a photo once of some shop. He said it was a bad shop anyway. That had Asian forest scorpion. It was just Heterometrus silenus. He had the most basic Asian forest scorpion at £100. So like,
Wow.
yeah, you can get those for a tenner at the show.
Yeah, that's mad, isn't it?
Like 10 or 12 quid, 15 max kind of thing at the shows. Kind of thing. But again, I always message you.
Yeah.
Again, if they got it from one of the wholesalers and not from Spy Shop or Venomous Visions or anyone like that, then they've had by the time it's got to them, there's been so many markups put on it. It just gets ridiculous. If people don't realise that, they're not actually that sort of money, or shouldn't be that sort of money.
Yeah, it's crazy. But again, as well, like your individual sellers, like we were saying earlier, you know what I mean? If you go on, I always check pages like Pets for Homes and things like that just to see, what's on there. And you see some of the prices that people put on there. It's like you could have like an LP on there. You know what I mean? It'd be like you've got to put it on for like £90 to £100. It's just it's crazy.
It's like, no, what are you on about? You see that? There's probably a lot of people on some of those pages that will buy them to sell on those pages, probably. Because to be selling them at that price, you've got to be. I don't think because you're trying to make a profit off that animal. Then.
Yeah, exactly that.
Which, again, there's flipping and then there's flipping. There's not necessarily anything wrong with flipping, but when you're doing it to that extent and trying to put that...
Yeah, exactly. That's what I need. It's like for people that obviously like sell on like Facebook or whatever, or send you their list, this, that, and the other. I mean, to be fair, they want to say whatever for a price. That literally is down to them. But at the same time, you know what I mean? You've got to be kind of reasonable with it and not, go stupidly crazy. I'm thinking that you're not going to know what you're on about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Scarlett Johansson was in that movie. She was indeed very young, though. Teenager, I believe.
Yep. Before she was an Avenger.
That's it. Black Widow.
way before.
What I miss.
People ask them this just to get a price for their spiders.
Yeah, they probably do. Yeah, but again, it's one of them with like Facebook or social media. You know what I mean? People can say all sorts.
Yeah, all sorts come out and all sorts get said and stuff, which is one of as much as social media can be great, can do a world of good, but it's also sometimes one of the bad things of social media as well.
Yeah, it is. It is indeed. Especially with scammers. Like I've noticed in quite a lot of the Facebook groups, the whole scamming thing is becoming very, very popular now. People say, I got this for sale, and then it turns out to be a scam.
It's quite prevalent, and it's because, unfortunately, anything, people see that, there's money involved here. People pay good money for these things. So then it's so easy just to be like, well, I've got these good deals not to be missed. And it's not just in the UK; it happens in the States as well. It happens everywhere.
Yeah, all over. Yeah.
There's one reason that I only buy off people that I know personally. Normally,
same.
Really checking out people. If it's from some random Facebook post or whatever. So JLo, right, when was this account made and stuff, and all this sort of thing, because it's too easy to get caught out. And sometimes if it's too good to be true, chances are it is.
Exactly. That's something as well, especially with people coming along that are looking to get into the hobby is well, you know what I mean? That they could see that and not think anything of it, and then go with it and get ripped off.
That's it. Which is why when people ask me for if I recommend where I recommend for people to if they're just getting into hobby for stuff, I always recommend sort of the likes of Spy Shop and Spar Spiders or Venomous Visions kind of thing, depending on what they're after. they'll sort you out, and stuff, and it'll be a decent price, sort of thing. You ain't gonna get ripped off, kind of thing, and
Yeah,
stuff,
exactly.
you cover rather than someone random that I've never heard of. Hey, so as you noticed, it is 5 to 10, so it's 2 hours of absolutely steam past.
Wow, fair play. That has gone by really, really quickly.
So I normally like to wrap up at sort of around, well, sort of 10ish. I don't want to keep you up sort of too late, but obviously, obviously have to have you on again at some point if you'd like to come on again.
Of course, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for inviting me on, mate. Honestly,
having you on. So we'll put links back in the chat just in case anyone isn't following you on Instagram or sub to you on YouTube. Go and check out. To be fair, I need to check. I'm guilty of not actually. I don't think I've actually got around to watching any videos. I need to watch some videos.
It's all good, mate. It's all good.
I don't feel like, you know what? I don't actually feel I've watched a video. I need to do that. So,
it's good, mate. It's all good.
Then, you were absolutely smashing it on Instagram. I was like, "Oh, get your Instagram name." I was like, "Yeah, you're over 20,000 followers on Instagram." And I was like, "Oh wow, they're smashing it."
That's my Instagram. That's when I first started, so that's what I mainly focused on to start with. So that shot up really quickly. It's just it was awesome.
So, cheers, guys, and St. John Legend.
Thank you. I appreciate that, buddy.
Absolutely. It's awesome live. Mention on Insta shortly. No worries.
All you guys, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it.
Thanks everyone for joining and watching. See, Scott is live tomorrow with Jaden, Mr. Grimless Creatures, so that's going to be a good live as well. Leo, you live on Wednesday? I believe Leo's live on Wednesday. She's still in chat. So, my next video will be out on Wednesday. Bit of a different one because it's a building of a Stormtrooper closed terrarium. Day early for Star Wars Day, but again, for sort of Star Wars Day. I think.
Awesome
Leah's live on Wednesday. Cool stuff. So if you're interested, guys, you can become channel members. First channel, do you have channel membership on your channel, Bear?
Not as of yet, no.
Okay. There's Patreon if interested in that as well. And these one of my mum's wooden tarantulas. So, but absolutely. Thank you everyone for joining and watching. Thank you, Bear, for coming on. It's been absolutely.
Once again, mate, thank you for having me, mate. It's been a pleasure.
And stuff, and hopefully, we'll see you at BTS, hopefully.
Oh yes, mate. Without a doubt, I'm there, bud.
It's going to be a fantastic show.
I'm generally looking for it, mate. I cannot wait.
Same here. Even this year, for the first time, I've booked a hotel for it. Stuff I don't normally, because it's only 2 hours, so I don't normally book a hotel. But staying in the hotel this year, there might be a few drinks involved in the night before.
Yeah, why not, mate? Why not?
It won't be too rough on the day of BTS, but right. I'll say good night. Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Take care, guys. All the best.